So fair use, fair use, fair use. None of the channels on this panel are making money from this video. We're just showing this for educational purposes only. And none of this is medical advice whatsoever. So fair use, fair use, fair use. So I'm gonna play about maybe like 7 minutes of it, but just let me know, brothers, when you got something. I'll pause it. We'll bring out the precepts. Hey, shalom, shema. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem
Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay.
Can't hear it.
Oh, no?
I don't know. You brothers heard it?
No, nothing.
No.
Okay, good. Hold on.
Shalom Akim.
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Shalom.
Okay. Let me know you should hear it now.
On purpose. Only time will tell, but we're about to.
You hear it now?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's actually.
This is engineered chaos on a.
The video's echoing, or is the
No,
birds?
when brothers are speaking.
Check.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Fuck.
Just let it play and then go back to whatever you turn it off at.
Okay.
worldwide scale, designed to create the illusion of rebellion, while the same people who spark the fire offer you a digital leash and a QR code as the path to peace. You don't get protests across half the globe on the same day by accident. This is the controlled demolition of national identity and resistance, so they can build a new world order system right on cue. And while cities are erupting in chaos, I mean, LA burning again exactly 33 years after the last time, Ireland slipping into civil war, buildings.
Yeah, look at that. Exactly 33 years after the last time. Wow. It's Sonic.
On fire and children raped while the media plays dumb. Behind the smoke and broken glass, the real power is at play, quietly falling into place here. The European Union just rolled out its international digital strategy, a seemingly boring bureaucratic document that's actually a digital blueprint for global control. It's being sold as a tool for streamlining cross-border commerce and improving mobility, but this is just a smokescreen. They're just sugarcoating it. At its core is the push for centralized digital identity systems, what they're calling digital public infrastructure. And surprise, it's backed by the usual suspects, the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, and every other unelected body that wants to run the world without your input. The plan is to sync up digital ID systems across borders: Ukraine, Moldova, parts of Latin America, India, Egypt, Brazil, you name it, all using the EU's so-called digital identity wallet, which according to privacy advocates might as well be a leash with a QR code on it. The goal is mutual recognition of electronic trust services, which is translation: if you're flagged in one country, you're flagged everywhere. Your movement, your speech, your online activity, all tied to one centralized profile. But it doesn't just stop there. The same strategy calls for expanding content regulation under the EU's Digital Services Act, which pretends to protect free speech while giving the state a scalpel to cut out anything it deems.
Yeah, real quick, I want to bring this out because, as he had mentioned, all these different countries are rolling out the same system. All right. But this is prophecy concerning Revelation 17. As the Lord said, he'll put it in their hearts. Right? It says, Revelation 17:17, for Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, hath put in their hearts, and whose hearts? The rulers and the kings of the earth, to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast via what? This technology, ultimately surveillance through the microchip, until the words of Yahweh Bashim Shai shall be fulfilled. Okay? And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right, so America is at the forefront of pushing this, right, behind the scenes. But really, when you go into it, it's the top wicked elite. All these different presidents and prime ministers that they have working for them all right, are just really fulfilling and pushing their plans. And you have all these technocrats as well. Because what we're really getting into is what do they call it? Technocracy, right? Which means rule by technology. Okay.
This includes
Yeah. Con.
mandatory platform compliance, risk monitoring, and yes, age verification, all in the name of protecting children. Years back, I showed you documents put out by the WEF saying they will control everything online and they need a digital ID so you can just access the internet, all because of, well, if you don't support that, then you probably support. That was their actual excuse. And now it's actually happening because every surveillance regime needs a good excuse, and that's what they're using here. Even the language they use, like fighting foreign information manipulation and interference, FIMI, and that's just code for criminalizing dissent and erasing alternative narratives. Say something the regime doesn't like, now you're foreign interference. On page 11, they even commit to increasing attribution, meaning they're not just monitoring, they're identifying you, tagging you, and filing you away. And while all this is being pitched as defending democracy, what they're building is a worldwide system of ideological border control. One set of values, one version of truth, one digital identity to rule them all. The EU calls it global cooperation, but what it really is a basically digital imperialism. They're laying the groundwork.
So I forgot another precept too, because as he coined the term FIMI, foreign information. What was it again? Foreign.
This is their actual excuse. And now it's actually happening because every surveillance regime needs a good excuse, and that's what they're using here. Even the language they use, like fighting foreign information manipulation and interference, FIMI, and that's just code for criminalizing dissent and erasing alternative narratives. Say something
alternative narratives
the regime doesn't like, now you're foreign interference.
Right. So guess what? The truth is an alternative narrative to these devil's global system that they're trying to set up.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm gonna get and you know, they use these words so that you don't really know who they're coming after, or so that you focus on the boogeymen that they set up. All right, the online boogeymen, but they're really the top wicked elite. They know who they're coming after, and it's really starting with the prophets. Okay, the ones that have the truth. So I'm gonna get Psalm 64 and 2. I'm gonna just read down to 10. So it says, "Hide me from the plots of this evil mob, for from this gang of wrongdoers, they sharpen their tongues like swords, and aim their bitter words like arrows," right? And this is where the demonization is going to come in terms of teaching the truth or teaching any alternative narrative to what they have set up, okay? And it says, and you know, the tongue also goes into many various aspects of this devil's system, not only the media, but his laws as well, right? As Trump pushes past, he during the time him and Elon were so-called fighting, guess what bill is being passed? That BBB bill, right? Big beautiful bill. When you look at it, it's really 666. Okay, so it says here, verse 4: they shoot from ambush at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fiercely. They encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. Who will ever notice? They ask, right? Because like you said earlier, Elder, you said everybody is on that sensational vibration, sensationalist. So everybody's caught up, right, in the entertainment of the world, but who's really exposing this devil through all the darkness? The elect, starting with the prophets.
Yeah, everything is satire. It's like everything is satire. Everything's a joke. People want to be the new Instagram comedian, you know.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Everything's a joke.
Everything like for breaking news, they'll use that as content, for new content for their channel.
Yeah, that's true. Like clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It says, who will ever notice? They ask. As they plot their crimes, they say, "We have devised the perfect plan." Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. Okay, and the scriptures say that this serpent, all right, was the most cunning beast of the field, beast representing all the other nations. Okay, but Yahweh, Shimon Shai himself, will shoot them with his arrows. Okay, suddenly striking them down, and that's starting with this truth as well, right? This truth is exposing this devil, but this is going to play out via the missiles after they believe they have set up their global surveillance system and new world order.
When he's about
Via
to fill his belly.
exactly, yeah, when he's about to fill his belly, right? So it says, verse 8, their own tongues will ruin them, and all who see him will shake their heads in scorn. And it's true, like Elder Yashawamba, he had mentioned, the two witnesses, but then he also said there's a third witness, right? Which is, these truthers, right? And mainly his own people, these Edomites that bring out the information on what they're doing. So his own tongue is will ruin him. It's ruining him right now. Then everyone will be afraid. They will proclaim the mighty acts of Yahweh, Bashim Shai, and realize all the amazing things he does. The godly will rejoice in the Lord Yahweh and find shelter in him, right? And those who do what is right will praise him.
That's right. That's right.
That's it on that.
Page 11, they even commit to increasing attribution, meaning they're not just monitoring, they're identifying you, tagging you, and filing you away. And while all this is being pitched as defending democracy, what they're building is a worldwide system of ideological border control. One set of values, one version of truth, one digital identity to rule them all. The EU calls it global cooperation, but what it really is basically digital imperialism. They're laying the groundwork for a world where you won't be able to speak, travel, or access basic services without plugging into their infrastructure. And by framing it as a necessary step for economic growth and national security, they've made resistance seem irresponsible. But make no mistake, this isn't about safety or innovation. This is about converting the chaos on the ground into obedience in the cloud. You don't get tanks in the streets forever, but you can get a digital ID that makes sure the wrong person never gets on the street to begin with. That's where this is going. They're not just policing your city anymore, they're about to police your existence. And right on cue, Trump just signed a stack of executive orders that take the next step in locking the net around us, this time from the skies. While half the internet cheers like, whoa, this is so cool, flying taxis, like we're gonna be living in the Jetsons soon. What actually is happening here is a lot more like Ukraine war footage, okay? Precision drones raining down on targets, except next time it'll be your house flagged by an algorithm for saying the wrong thing. Trump's latest move expands commercial drone use, kills visibility restrictions, and gives law enforcement more power to surveil and control the airspace. One order gives police and public safety officials permission to fly drones beyond visual line of sight, which means you won't even know when they're watching you. Another opens the door to vertical takeoff aircraft for cargo and rescue, which, if you understand what wording they're using, this could easily mean automated lockdown enforcement in rural areas. And the crazy part is he's not just legalizing this tech, he's building a domestic drone industry to replace Chinese supply chains, pushing for mass production, government adoption, and full-blown export to allied nations. So in short, he's laying the foundation for a surveillance economy with drones as a new patrol car, mailman, and airstrike. To sweeten the deal, Trump told the FAA to lock down airspace over critical infrastructure and federal facilities, while the DOJ is now tasked with ramping up enforcement against unauthorized drone activity. In other words, your ability to own or operate drones will be tightly controlled, but the government's ability to use them on you will be unlimited. It's the same pattern every time. They hype the cool toys and ignore the cage being built with them. Commercial drones for innovation, surveillance drones for safety, military-grade AI drones for security events. And just like that, you're living under a grid that never sleeps, never blinks, and never forgets who you are. And just to put the cherry on top here, Trump didn't just talk drones and flying taxis in vague terms. The White House officially confirmed 3 new executive orders designed to fast-track this entire airborne surveillance infrastructure. On paper, it's
Right. So let's get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Okay, in the NLT. Okay, so I'll start from 8. It says, then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord, Yahushua, will kill him with the breath of his mouth, starting with the prophets, and then later by, the so-called UFOs, the chariots, and the missiles, and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. This man will come to do the work of Satan, right, which is to be adverse to the truth, all right, and deceive the world with counterfeit, right, power, and signs and miracles.
Hey, brother,
Right?
that's lucky. That's exactly what you said.
exactly what you said.
I might go in right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't hear the
Cracking.
echo.
Cracking.
No, I don't hear it. No, I don't hear it as much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all you brothers are echoing too. But
yeah, it is.
what you call it? Technology. Technology means an artificer, right? That's where you get artificial from. So this man is a counterfeit. His whole society's counterfeit.
That's right. Yep. Exactly. And counterfeit to what? To the kingdom of heaven.
Counterfeit to life, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because all this technology we have, we're going to get in the kingdom, but better. And it's going to be beneficial to our health.
That's right.
But this man's technology is detrimental to your health.
That's right.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Straight.
There's an echo, eh? Holy.
No, because when you switch, whatever made the video be heard,
Yeah.
that's what brought the echo again.
Yeah, two of them.
Because remember when I said you can't hear the video, once you turn whatever on, that's when the echo came.
Okay.
Check what I saw. Probably.
Amas.
Okay.
Amas.
Yeah.
Try your earphones. Try your earphones. Plug them out.
Oh, I took them out. I don't have them in.
You're out? Okay. Come on.
Let me see if because I did put it on a certain setting. I put it on personal, not conference. Maybe now you guys can't hear it from me.
No.
So anybody else try to say something?
Check.
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 Yeah, good. It's good now.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
all right. So I guess when I have it on personal, I keep the headphones on. When I don't, I keep them off. Okay. So back here in 2 Thessalonians 2:9, it says, this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, which tells you that the people, anybody and everybody that will partake of this system, all right, via the microchip, is set up for destruction. It's preordained, all right, to take it and be set up for destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth, right? That would save them. Because we're like those party poopers, right? As everybody is excited for flying cars and, like he said, all the toys that they don't realize comes with a cage, right? We're like the party poopers of this new age. Okay.
That's right.
If I may add, remember during the time of the serpent piss, right? They had everyone bugging out. Oh, I want to go back on patios. I want my life back. Right? All about convenience.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were blaming the people that were trying to not get this serpent piss. They're saying it's your guys' fault. You guys need to get it. Oh, you got to blame the anti. You know what? They're getting pissed.
Yeah. It says he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them. So Yahweh, Bashim El-Shah, will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. Then they will be condemned for enjoying evil, right? So whatever because he's promising all kinds of things with this microchip and this technological age, right? He's promised like they have people who now can do telekinesis, right? Because they have the Neuralink in them, right? Blind can see, lame can walk, so on and so forth, right? You can even dissect your dreams, all these kind of things, right? But little do you know, you're just enjoying evil, okay? It says, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth, okay? And really, this is mainly to Israel, right? Because the heathens are not set up to really believe the truth, anyways. But you rebellious Israelites and you wicked teachers of Israel, all right, if you're not of the elect, okay, you're going to get, it's going to be a heavy judgment because you're going to partake in this evil system.
If I may add,
Hmm.
and they're you see with the whole the smartphones, the chat GPT, you know,
Right,
it's made people lazy, it's dumbed people
right.
down, it's become people more reliant on technology. It's basically these elites, it's their training wheels on the masses, right?
Hmm.
To usher in this MOTB. When the MOTB comes, everyone's going to be totally reliant on this technology, Esau says sorcery, and they're going to be willing, you know, they're going to be like,
Yeah,
please give it to me, please.
that's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
I need you to think for me. I need I need the Neuralink. I can't do without it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, the word technology, I mentioned it. I'll just bring it out on Adam Online. From the Greek techno, meaning art, skill, craft, and work. From pre-Indo-European texna, meaning craft, of weaving or fabricating. From tex, meaning to weave, also to fabricate. So what does the word fabricate mean? It's a fallacy, the counterfeit, what you just read in that other scripture. Or you're still there, I think, right? Second Timothy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a counterfeit, man. You know?
Right.
Hey, was that scripture in Wisdom of Solomon? They are a counterfeit to us, or how's it go?
Oh, yeah. Wisdom of Solomon, too.
Yeah, you know what I mean, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So the ungodly, you know? So that's exactly because Esau, Edom, going back to Cain, going back to the serpent, they are counterfeits of life, really. And they hate, them that are of life, that have the light,
Hmm.
So everything from what they put their hands to what they tell you, to their theories, it's all fabrication. It's all counterfeit.
Hmm.
Just like he has seedless, watermelons, and you got to go on a mission to find a watermelon that's seeded. He brings you counterfeit food, counterfeit water, right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Is it 2 and 16? Is that the one you want? Slakia, wisdom.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. Let me start. I got it in King James. Let me start at 14. It says, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. So they hate the elect, man. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
There you go.
He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. Right?
You said, Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said there, he abstaineth from our ways as filthiness.
Yep.
Right? Listen, the elect are in a mindset of fuck this place, man. The elect are totally like, yo, we got to get out of here. The elder did a lesson this morning. We got to get out of here, man. That's the mindset that we're in. We're like, yo, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you had the fucking Ammonite dressed up as an anime schoolgirl driving around kids, man.
I seen that.
What kind of
seen
bugged out
that.
shit is that, bro? I don't want to fucking live here.
Right.
No. So that's the goal.
Yeah, shit's vexing for real.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this from the brother Raquai Flowing Brook. Shalom to the brothers and sisters on the common board. Sincere brothers and sisters. It says here, Jeremiah 8:7, yea, the stork in the heaven knoweth her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane and the swallow observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the judgment of the Lord. That's right. Again, because they're drunk. They're drunk off of the counterfeit miracles of this devil, all right, and the ways of this world, and ultimately off the flesh. As the scriptures say, all that's in the world is the flesh of the eyes, right, and the and the lust of the heart. That's all that's in this man's world, or in this man's kingdom.
Yep. Pride of life.
That's right.
Let me get this real quick.
Oh,
yeah, Con.
Slack it. This is 1 John 2 and 15 NLT. It says, "Do not love this world nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world." So that just shows you, like, from elementary school to how you get, taught in the society, oh, you're supposed to be proud and this whole sense of possession and what I did, what are my accolades, my credentials, all these things just lead to more vanity, really. And it's not of the Father, so we know we can't go that route, right? Verse 17, and this world is fading away along with everything that people crave, but anyone who does that what pleases the Most High will live forever.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's what they're trying to achieve, man. No, Slack, I was just gonna say that's what they're trying to achieve by merging man with machine, right? Promising you that you're gonna be able to live longer, right? But the scriptures say that there's gonna be putrefying swords for, that's gonna be the results of their so-called miracles, which is counterfeit miracles, man. Showing you that there's only one way to enter everlasting life, and that's through the path Yahushua laid down.
Hey, brother, not just live longer in life, live longer doing sin, live longer with thriving in sin. Remember, these people want, like you said, man with machine. They want a super duper strong heart for their cocaine habits. You know how these politicians get down. When this guy Trudy went to India, they had to stop the plane. They had to keep it on the ground. They said, "Oh, we found white powder." Macron, that footage with him with the white powder bag. When someone walked in to the office, "Oh, you hide the bag," and they try to hide the bag. These guys do all these drugs and abominable shit. They want to live a great quality of life while committing sin. Because sin brings death. It brings plagues. It brings diseases. This guy, who had that pig heart transplant, I think he had it like 7 times, man, or 6-7 times. These guys get these things because they put their vessels through hell, man. They put their vessels through so much hell that the regular person ODs and dies. They just want to keep living, doing all their madness, bro. Like,
I think that governor official Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney, Dick Cheney. Yeah, but a bunch of them get it. I think a Rothschild or Rockefeller, one of Rockefellers. But yeah, Dick Cheney, the water. Yeah, that was the guy.
Shema, you're gonna say something?
I forgot.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Is that it on that, Elder? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Ashar.
Yeah, just what the elder mentioned it about the alphabet guy driving the school bus in this place. It's sickness. So this is the book of Philippians 1 and 21. I read from 21 to 24 in the NLT. And it reads, for to me, living in Yahushua and dying is even better. We're doing this just to, better ourselves.
Yeah.
Verse 22. But if I leave, I can do more fruitful work for Yahushua. So I really don't know which is better. I'm torn between two desires. I long to go and be with Yahushua, which is better for me. So for us, it's better to just, have this place. But like the elders say, a lot of people want to continue and feel their wickedness in this place.
Straight.
Yeah.
Straight.
That was in
nice.
Real quick, I got Isaiah. Just wanted to bring it up because it was already broken down. Basically, this precept I'm going to bring out from the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, and 9 and 10. If I may read that, because simply put, that's for you folks out there.
Go ahead. You're good.
To get it. Let me just pull that screen up. I don't know where to go. Here we go. Okay. It says, one quick. This is Isaiah 47 and 9. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment. In one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. Right? And that's how these people want to live. Right? Starting with our people. Let's join up with them. As that was broken down. It says that, and for great abundance of the enchantments. So they want it all. Right? You already broke it down in regards to the tool. It's telepathy and AI merged together. Simply put, right? And then it says this, verse 10, here's the point, driving it home. Verse Isaiah 47 and 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge. It has perverted thee. See, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am none else besides me. Now, of course, it goes into this system, Sodom and Egypt system, right? Mystery Babylon, right? That's the head of all of this wickedness, right? And you people have swallowed it down, and you're swallowed up into it, man. It's wickedness. The Lord doesn't like it. It's going to be destroyed. And by the way, we don't like it here. But we have to wait on our Lord to deliver us, man.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, so the guy was it's like it was David Rockefeller, right? It says David Rockefeller also was associated. It was Dick Cheney that had the pig heart, but I was thinking of David Rockefeller is associated with multiple heart transplants over his lifetime. While the exact numbers debated, there are reports suggesting he underwent at least 6 heart transplants, one of which was rumored to have been performed at Hudson Valley, New York estate. And then this is a quote by him. It says, every time I get a new heart, it is like the breath of life is swept across my body. I feel re-energized and alive. Because these devils, man, they have their ceremonies and their parties and shit, Man.
Holy. Fuck, man.
They're really like, you got to think about it. They're really mocking and spitting in the face of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Like, oh, I'm not going to die yet. I'm not going to, and they're cursing him at ceremonies and things. And,
wow.
It's just a height of pride that we don't really see. We can't really understand yet.
Yeah, it's true. I want to bring this out. And Revelation 9. And I'll start at 18. I'll start at 17, but just land back off your point about how these people they want to live longer, so they can continue in their wickedness. Well, he even tells you after, Yahushua shows up with the chariots, the missiles drop, America's destroyed. Even after all of that, showing you how deep embedded this wickedness is in their mind, this is what they're going to get into. They're not going to they're not going to repent. So it says Revelation 9:17, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and a jacinth, which is referring to a color, red, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses, which is the missiles, right, was the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstones, right? That's the warheads. And out of the warheads comes all the missiles. By these three were the third part of men killed, right? The Edomites, by the fire and by the smoke, and really all the Edomites mainly in America, because you got a lot more Edomites that are going to be hiding off in bunkers when all this goes down. And by the brimstone which issued out of their mouth. It says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, right, after World War III, yet repented not of their works. And you got to remember, the people that are left behind, they all have the microchip in them. Okay, so it says, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stones and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders. So the Most High has them in a heavy trick bag, because who knows, we're definitely going to be up there, Lord willing, of the elect in them chairs for a bit, because America's going to be on fire for a while. It's a big country with a lot of waste and toxins, right, in there that are going to burn for a while, and the smoke. So after all of that time going by, they're going to continue, and they're going to forget all about it, so to speak. Then you're going to have New Jerusalem coming down from heaven out of them chariots. Right? So it makes sense when you think about 1,000 years of slavery under the Israelites, because we're going to need 1,000 years, all right, to unteach all the wickedness that you've had in your mind. Okay? It says, nor walk, neither repented they of their murders. So things just got worse. For of their sorceries, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their theft. So if you think, these politicians and various technocrats and whatnot do drugs now and do all this stuff now, imagine when they have the microchip in them, all the shit they're going to be doing while we're in them chariots.
Yeah, they're sealed with the mark of disobedience, and we know it's more that has been building up for quite some time.
Hey, because in Wisdom of Solomon too, remember, and later on it says, "Let us use the creation as in the days of youth."
Yes.
So meaning,
Yes.
Let us live carefree. I know I'm 70 years old, but I'm still, I'm still doing this madness to the fullest extent. Yeah, verse 6.
Yeah, it says, "Come." Wisdom of Solomon 2:6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Yep. Hey, just like, where do you think heroin comes from? The poppy, which is the spring flower. Morphine, heroin, codeine, right?
That's right.
They use all, like Aleister Crowley. He was a big druggie. He was addicted to heroin. So that's these devils, man. They just, and it says speedily used, so they're just in a rush to just crash out, just to, Esau, man, son of perdition, rock and roll. Hey, the rock and roll guys, those guys idolize the occult leaders like Aleister Crowley. So if you think they lived the high life, it was the occult leaders, really those guys, the bankers, they really lived that rock and roll life in real life.
Right.
Those guys literally worship the Beatles. They worship Aleister Crowley. All those top guys, they all worship the occult leaders, man.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
It's true. Wow. In the GNT, it says, verse 6, the wicked say, come on, let us enjoy the good things of life and live in this world the way we did when we were young and free. Care.
Young and free, eh?
Right.
That's why this whole society, right? Forever 21. I want to be a kid forever. That's that spirit too. They want to keep in that stupid mindset of, party, party, party.
Right.
You know?
Wow. Yeah.
Yep. They drink that chrome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The adrenal. Yeah.
Right.
There's some good precepts on here. Okay. Let's get
bring it out.
Yes, right. Let's get Lion of Judah 144. Shalom. Yeah. Khan, Tazawam, Shalom. It says, for there are no bands in their death, right? All these heart transplants, but their strength is firm. It says, verse 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Verse 6, it says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. So the Most High is letting them continue in their wickedness because he's fattening up the calf, just like he did with Pharaoh. Violence covereth them as a garment. Fuck.
Hey, real quick, it's like in the NLT, verse 4 says, they seem to live such painless lives. Their bodies are so healthy and strong because if they have a failing organ, they'll just replace it. They have the top Jake ready. Yo, I need a new liver. Okay, let's go. We got Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? They just got Jake. You know what I mean? Heart, a new heart. You're on the donor transplant list for 10 years waiting, for a new kidney. They got that shit ready. So that's part of that AI cyborg man with machine because they're gonna be super pumped. They're gonna be super healthy. Fuck.
Wow. No end to it.
This is from the end has come. Shalom. It says 2nd Ezra 9:11, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, talking about Israelites, understood not, but despised it. Because like you mentioned, a lot of these people, especially in the music industry, right, even among our people, mainly among our people, they all worship Aleister Crowley and the occult leaders, right? So, they, and even these wicked ass teachers, man, within Israel, they, in their mind, they're thinking they can blend this thing with occult practices and receive some kind of status, right, and live in some kind of pleasure in this life, because ultimately they don't see the kingdom of heaven coming. Right? They have that same mindset of rushing to crash out and doing all over again, like Esau, Edom. That's why the Lord Yahushua said, "Ye are of your father the devil, right? And you will do the lust and the works of him thereof." Roughly paraphrasing. All right, verse. Verse 12. It says, "The same must know it after death by pain." That's right. Okay. Yeah, it's a good precept too. It's a lot of good precepts. I'll read this one. Ecclesiastes 8:11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with him that fear Yahweh B'Shem El Shai, which fear before him.
That's right.
Verse 13, it says, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh B'Shem El Shai. Yeah. So let's go back to this clip and play a little bit more here.
Now it's not playing. You got to switch it back.
Yeah, I gotta switch it back. Okay.
And then switch it after back. There's no echo.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay, let me know if you can hear it now.
No.
Okay, so I have to really do it completely. Okay.
But the language gives it away. The orders are set to secure.
It's good now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our airspace, reduce reliance on adversarial nations, and enable routine beyond line of sight operations. That means you're going to have drones watching you from anywhere at any time under the pretense of keeping you safe. Isn't that interesting? He's signing this executive order. So if anything happens in the future that will give them the green light to use this tech on you soon, well, we know who was behind the false flag, okay? Who benefits? But it does get worse, unfortunately. You know, I'm the bearer of good news here. They're launching a pilot program for flying cars, not for your convenience, but for EMS, air taxis, cargo, and defense logistics. That means military-grade vertical takeoff aircraft will soon be flying low over your neighborhood, tracking you under the guise of emergency response or package delivery. Don't worry about that drone outside, okay? It's just for Amazon. Mix that with AI facial recognition, Palantir behavioral scoring, and digital ID infrastructure, and suddenly your city's not just geofenced, it's airlocked. One line practically screams predictive policing here, okay? Minority report style system incoming. Address the growing threats from criminal, terrorist, and foreign misuse of drones inside U.S. airspace. That's how they always do it. You see that? They scare you with the threat of some vague boogeyman, then implement total surveillance for everyone. You won't be able to sneeze in your backyard without a flying cop drone uploading your face to a federal server. And all of that is being rolled out hand in hand with Silicon Valley. Biometric databases and these digital slavery systems no one asked for. This is the build out. This is the skeleton of the techno prison. It's not coming, it's already here. Just a thought on Twitter says this. Merging Canada and the US is the North American Union. Major role in the NWO. That's
here.
right, Club of Rome book. The humanoid delivery agents, AI dispatch systems, and drone-enforced no-go zones. And the people cheering this on, well, they're too hypnotized by sci-fi aesthetics to notice the techno collar tightening around their necks. What you're seeing isn't progress, obviously. None of this is progress. It's population replacement. First with migrants, and then eventually machines, whenever the technology is advanced enough. And isn't the timing just a little too perfect? Right as cities explode into chaos, right as governments start openly greenlighting AI surveillance states, Apple swoops in to help with another digital ID. That's right, rolling out a digital passport system straight into your iPhone. What luck! I mean, thank God for Apple. Just as riots spread from LA to Dublin and leaders talk predictive policing, like that's what we need, a minority report style pre-crime unit to put us in jail before we commit a crime based on Twitter posts. And now we suddenly get a friendly little update from Cupertino, letting us know that starting this fall, your identity will now live in your phone. iOS 26 will feature passport-based digital IDs, fully integrated with Apple Wallet and ready for use at...
Oh, this is a good preset. You get this from The End Has Come. Second Ezra's 9 and 20, it says, So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that have come into it. Very good preset. Right?
Hey, they showed you that in that movie, The Fifth Element. Right? They had the police flying cars, but they were flying a car, and the police checked the license. It's like it's not coming back as anything. He's like, oh, he has a blocker, he has a scanner blocker. It means he's a thief.
Right.
He's a blast him.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah. Well, this brother's on fire. Another good precept. This one is Isaiah 32:7, the instrument also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak right. That's right. That's right.
100%.
In verse 7 in the NLT, it says the smooth trick of the scoundrels are evil. They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor, even when the cause of the poor is just.
Con.
TSA checkpoints, apps, and God knows what else. They say it's not replacing your physical ID, so don't worry. Which, let's be honest, it's in your phone. So basically, that means it's in your bloodstream. Okay, this is going to be your digital ID. This is how the system works: chaos, then control. Stir up enough unrest, enough violence, enough national emergencies, and you can sell any dystopian tool as a security update. And now with Apple joining the team, it's game over for physical autonomy. These aren't just IDs for airports. The plan is full integration: state-issued driver's licenses, age verification for social media, logins for banking, even news access, all routed through a device that tracks you 24/7 and reports back to Big Brother through backdoors they call features. And don't forget who's behind it. Apple's not doing this alone. This rollout is backed by the TSA, which has already confirmed they'll accept these digital passports. The same TSA that helped normalize body scanners and no-fly lists after 9/11 is now merging identity into your phone under the illusion of convenience. Meanwhile, Apple is quietly embedding Find My Location, tracking deeper into luggage, boarding passes, and apps, tying your movement and identity into one tidy surveillance ecosystem. See how it works? And at first, it's going to be voluntary until, it's not. The line between optional and required blurs real fast when the infrastructure is already in your hand. This is the final mile of a system built on decades of false flags, biopolitical manipulation, and manufactured panic. The riots justify the rollout. The rollout justifies the crackdown. And the digital ID is the collar. That's the tether. Because once your access to society depends on a corporate-managed, state-approved ID embedded into your phone, you're not a citizen anymore. You're a barcode. Ain't it funny? Technology used to mean advancement, like better cameras, faster processors, something you actually wanted. Now all that just stays the same. And
really, what he just basically said was Revelation 13. Right? So look at that real quick. Revelation 13. And let's start at NLT. So let me start at 14. The King James. Revelation 13 and 14. Okay. And it reads, and deviseth and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which is what they're doing right now. And all these nations and the kings of the nations are getting together to build this image. Is going to be the new world order. All right. And that's really the beast system. Okay. Which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast by the means of the sword and by the means of his tongue. Right. The sword, the military, manufactured cyber attacks, T-Eris attacks, and also by deception using the tongue, laws, mandates, so on and so forth. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast on, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and the number is 666, right? 666. Okay, so I'll play a little bit more of this, and then that'll be basically it. So he goes through a lot of different information in this video, but if you guys want at home want to go and watch, he brings a lot of information. His eyes is watching. Skip ahead here.
The only thing that gets upgraded is surveillance. That's right, your digital shackles. That's about it. Go buy the new iPhone. It tracks your location, flags your speech, and if you leave your 15-minute city, this one explodes. Welcome to innovation. So as I said last show, the Elon versus Trump feud. Remember that? Told y'all it was fake. I said if they made up, it's confirmation it was total BS. Political reality TV is entertaining, I have to say. For people posted this, oh, the irony as a joke to a meme, he deleted that tweet. But something that will greenlight the Palantir AI survey basis spoke to a meme saying Iran wants war. Look how close they put their country to our military bases. Well, then he deleted that tweet. But like I said, Patriot Act 2.0 incoming, a digital leash after a big event. Something that will greenlight the Palantir AI surveillance state. Palantir isn't just some tech company. It's a digital crystal ball for the surveillance state. And no, that's not hyperbole. It's literally named after the Palantir from Lord of the Rings. The black orbs used for telepathic remote viewing across vast distances. In Tolkien's world, these spheres didn't just let you spy, they let the enemy manipulate your mind. That's what the book was about. That's what they said Palantir was. Denethor, I don't know if I'm saying these names right because I've never been a fan of the Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, stuff like that. I never watched any of them, but I'm assuming this is how you pronounce it. Denethor, the steward of Gondor, thought he was using the Palantir to gain strategic advantage. But in reality, Sauron was feeding him carefully curated images of doom and despair, turning him into a paranoid wreck until he lit himself on fire.
Which, that's what the television does, right? That's what your iPhone does. That's what Instagram does. It feeds you images, right? Controlling your mind, putting you in a state of psychosis, really. Yes, that's right. State of psychosis. That's right.
Yeah, that sounds promising for us. Now, flash forward to our reality here, where a man named Peter Thiel, whose name literally unscrambles into the reptile, co-founds a company modeled after the same tech. And we're all supposed to pretend this is just good old Silicon Valley innovation, advancements in technology. Alongside Thiel is Palantir's CEO Alex Karp, who proudly admits their software has helped squash nationalist uprisings across Europe. Yeah, you know, because you need to use advanced Israeli tech on the population to quell those stupid, disobedient protesters because they dare to keep their culture. Yeah, how dare them? But hey, don't worry, Palantir is here to prevent that. Demonic global cult, people. Palantir fuses government, big tech, and intel agencies into one all-seeing, all-knowing, algorithmic Eye of Sauron. But looking at the Eye of Sauron here, oh, that looks real cool right there. Can't wait to have one of those in every single one of our houses, just watching us at all time. It's not a company, okay? This is a empire built on metadata and manipulation. They're testing the next phase of this techno-tyranny in Ukraine. Can you believe it? Palantir right now is being used in Ukraine to figure out how they're going to use it on their own citizens soon. This isn't war here. This is a beta test. So whatever's happening in Ukraine is not only a war, but a beta test in full spectrum AI surveillance, drones, wearables, sensors, satellites, all of it, all stitched together by a live 5G grid. In Ukraine, they're saying they're using 5G to check soldiers' vitals, location data, enemy detection, handled by AI parsing heat signatures and social media at the same time. 20 years ago, you could track 10 targets a day, now 300. And that's just with 5G. So now they're already teasing 6G. So that will be slated to be released later this year. So just imagine what happens when they jack the signal and plug it straight into the Golden Dome system back home. Is it for defense? Or is it about mentally mapping civilians the same way they scan combatants? Because once this infrastructure is in place, you don't need to deploy troops. You just manage populations through data and perception, like Denethor staring too long into the Palantir, convinced the war was already lost. People today are bombarded with algorithmic-fed fear loops that shape how they think, vote, and obey. Replace magic with machine learning, AI, and you've got mind control at scale. Orwell warned us, but he warned us too accurately to think he's not controlled up, okay? Tolkien romanticized it. Palantir just operationalized it. Just weeks ago, Laura Loomer.
All right, so a lot there, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty much Esau wants to be like the most high.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure Trump too is trying to get, I think he passed a bill to make an AI government, make government AI, so AI government. So you'll have AI, you won't have voting politicians, which you never really had anyways, right? It was already pre-picked.
I got a quick precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
On this devil, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11
Got
says,
echo.
"Lest
Echo.
Satan
The echo.
should
Yeah,
get
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
it's echo.
Let me remove this. Okay. How about now?
Check.
Check.
I don't know.
Still there.
Still there?
Yeah.
Okay. How about
What's that?
is there echo?
Check.
Check.
No, it's gone.
I don't. I
Good.
think it's gone.
Of course, it's gone. Whatever, man.
The enchantment's
So
gone.
this is Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." All these things that he is doing out there in the world and throwing in front of Israel, in front of the whole world. The prophets, the true prophets, the true men of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, the elect men, they're not going to be ignorant to what is happening, man. They're going to be able to see all these things coming at full speed, you know? So it doesn't even matter what Satan's trying to do, but we're here to wake up our men and make them know what's going on, you know? The elect.
Well, we're just fishers. The Most High wakes them up.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yep. And that was it.
Gone. This is my last precept. You get 2 Ezra 16 and 68. The GNT.
It's funny. I was meditating on that today. I don't know if you brothers remember, just a few months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago, Apostle Tahar, he made a video and he said, we're in the time of 2 Ezra 15 and 16.
Yeah, I
you remember that. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like in the spirit, I'm like, yeah, I could see that. And then all of a sudden you just start seeing these things happening.
Yeah.
So that shows you, man, we're in those times and those are the prophets, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. And it's coming out a lot more. When I watch various brothers' videos, it comes out more and more because that's the time that we're in, like you said.
But when he said it, it was quiet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's only been as recent that's been coming out a little bit more. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 68. It says, in the GNT, a vast mob of people is ready now to descend on you and devour you like flame. They will drag some of you off and force you to eat pagan sacrifices. Now, just to get some clarity, when you look at the word force, it tells you, because force, oh, that's wrong spelling. It spelled it right for me. Force, right? In the noun, it says strength, right? It says fortitude, violence, power, compulsion. So how will this devil force? What is this devil's strength? His sword and his tongue. So he's going to deceive many, as we read, right? But he's going to send out those troops, put many people into concentration camps, right? He's going to threaten death if you don't partake of it. Okay, if you don't partake of his system.
It's like it, bro. Down there, if you go back real quick, the second paragraph, it said meanings power to convince the mind.
Woo! I didn't even see that. That's funny.
Yeah, so that's, hey, you got to eat. Your kids got to eat. You know?
Yes.
You got to turn the heat on.
Come.
Damn.
And power exerted against the will or consent. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. So going back here, it says, verse 69, if you give in to them, they will ridicule you, mock you, and humiliate you. In many places. Yep.
Yeah, right. All those mocking videos. Brashadam just came out last week, remember? And Prophecies and so forth like that. Yeah. I mean, as brother said, simply put, man, it's live, man. If you people can't see it, that's too bad. But yeah, we're in that chapter, no doubt about it. Slaka, brother, go ahead, man.
No, well, you're right because Wisdom of Solomon 2, it tells you this is their plan. In their mind, it says, look, it says, verse 17, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 17, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. So, yeah. So if here you are chatting about, oh, I'm not going to take it, this is not going to happen, and a lot of you are going to take it that are Israelites and are not ultimately of the elect, all right, and not sincere, they're going to mock you. They're going to be mocking you. Didn't you say this? Didn't you say that? Who you are with this, right? For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture that we may, and brothers had dreams about this, man. Various dreams came out about this, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. And this is where they're in the trick bag, because the elect are armed with the mindset that we know, just like Yahushua said to Pilate, you can't do anything to me unless my Father in heaven has given you the power to do it. See?
That's true.
It says, let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. And it tells you here, it says, such things they imagined and were deceived, for their own wickedness has blinded them. All right. And as for the mysteries of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, they knew them not, neither hoped for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. All right. So going back here, verse 70, it says, in many places near the cities, there will be violent persecution against those who fear the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The attackers will attack like wild people. They will plunder and destroy without pity all those who still fear the Lord. They will turn them out of their homes and take away all their possessions. This will be the time of testing for my chosen people. You see? And they will prove to be pure as refined gold. Zechariah 13 and 9, right? 8 and 9. But listen to what the Lord Yahweh says. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai says, my chosen people, the time of terrible suffering is near, but I will rescue you. Don't be afraid or have any doubts. I am your power and I will lead you. If you keep my laws and commandments, right, in spirit and truth, says the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, you must not let your sins weigh you down or control you. And this is what you went into earlier, Elder, about that time of testing. And really, you have to overcome the flesh, because you're not going to be a part of the grid anymore. So you have to solely 100% rely on Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, as we do already anyways. It's just that the grid, we're still somewhat a part of the grid. Okay. Those who are chained by their sins, overwhelmed by the evil they have done, are doomed. They will be like a field overgrown with brush, with the path across it so choked with thorns that no one can get through. That's right. It is abandoned and doomed to be destroyed by fire. So basically those who lose faith. Okay. So that's it. That's it for me.
Can I bring this out?
Yeah, Khan.
Yeah, this is the book of 2 Thessalonians 2. I'll read from 8 to 12 in NLT. Reads, then the man of loveliness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him with the splendor of his coming. Verse 9, this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit powers and signs and miracles, going into Neuralink, going to phones, everything linked one thing to another. having power and control over you. Verse 10, he will use every kind of evil and deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them. Verse 11, so Yahweh will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. So it doesn't matter what you tell these people, this place coming to an end. MOTB, they don't believe that.
That's right.
There's so much trust in Esau. Verse 12, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. So at the end of the day, let them die.
No, it came out when you read Wisdom of Ezra. It says they don't know him, and they don't know his mysteries. They're just wicked.
Yeah, so like the Apostle Paul say, there's no time for debate.
That's right.
No time. Yeah, it's either you're in or you're out.
Yep,
that's it.
Beautiful. All right. So that's it. We're going to close up. Lord willing, this lesson was straightforward and edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. All right. We're going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem,
double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone Ruel and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. All right, starting with 144,000 and the innumerable multitude that sincerely believe in this truth. All right. Abba, Khan Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom.